This is the final countdown. Top contender in serious trouble. Tampa Bay's $7 million star out for first round. Vancouver's elite goalie shut down. And desperate teams making final push with everything on the line. The shocking developments that could change everything. The NHL regular season is down to its final days. And the playoff picture is taking dramatic shape with several teams receiving critical updates on injured stars, while others battle for crucial postseason positioning. In Tampa Bay, the Lightning received devastating news about trade deadline acquisition. Oliver Bjorkstrand, the skilled forward, is week to week with a lower body injury and unlikely to be available for the start of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Bjorkstrand has been a significant contributor with 4 goals and 5 assists in 18 games since joining Tampa Bay from Seattle. It's tough because he's really grown into his role with us, Lightning coach John Cooper said. Hopefully we'll have him back for the playoffs at some point. The timing couldn't be worse for Tampa Bay, who currently sits second in the Atlantic Division with 100 points. They're tied with the Florida Panthers but hold the tiebreaker with more regulation wins, 40-37. The Lightning can clinch home ice advantage in the first round if the Panthers lose to the New York Rangers in regulation on Tuesday. In Vancouver, the Canucks received their own injury setback as goaltender Thatcher Demko has been ruled out for the remainder of the regular season due to illness. While Vancouver has already been eliminated from playoff contention, this caps a frustrating season for the former Vezina Trophy finalist. He's feeling okay, but he's not feeling that great. I'm not going to throw him in, Canucks coach Rick Tachi explained. There's 2 games left. There's no reason to. Demko's season has been plagued by injuries, including missing the first 24 games while recovering from knee surgery. The 29-year-old finished with a 10.83 record, an 8.89 save percentage, and a 2.90 goals against average in just 23 appearances. The Canucks also lost defenseman Derek Forbort, who suffered a fractured orbital bone in a fight with Minnesota's Yakov Trenin on Saturday. Forbort, who can become an unrestricted free agent on July 1st, will miss Vancouver's final 2 games of the season. Out west, the Calgary Flames continue their improbable push for a playoff spot. Despite being written off by many analysts, the Flames are 4-0-2 in their past 6 games and trail the St. Louis Blues by just 2 points for the second wildcard position in the Western Conference. Calgary bolstered their organization Monday by signing Carter King to a 1-year, 2-way contract. The 23-year-old forward and Calgary native served as captain for the University of Denver this season, posting 43 points in 44 games while leading his team to the NCAA Frozen Four. The Flames host the Vegas Golden Knights on Tuesday night in what has become a must-win game for their playoff hopes. With just 3 games remaining in their season, Calgary needs to be nearly perfect while hoping for the Blues to stumble. In Edmonton, the Oilers are making a late push for better playoff positioning. Currently sitting 3rd in the Pacific Division with 99 points, they trail the Los Angeles Kings by just 2 points, with a crucial head-to-head matchup scheduled for Tuesday night. A regulation win would pull Edmonton even with Los Angeles, setting up a dramatic finish for second place in the division and home ice advantage in what would likely be a first-round matchup between these 2 teams. Meanwhile, in the Eastern Conference, the Montreal Canadiens could clinch their playoff berth with a victory against the Chicago Blackhawks. Montreal has been one of the season's biggest surprises, led by rookie defenseman Lane Hutson, who leads all NHL first-year players with an astonishing 64 points in 80 games. As teams prepare for the postseason, health becomes increasingly critical. Philip Chytil skated in a non-contact jersey Sunday for the first time since sustaining a concussion on March 15th, but the forward won't return this season. With the playoffs set to begin next week, teams are making final adjustments to their lineups while medical staffs work overtime to get injured players ready for the most intense hockey of the year. For fans across North America, the final days of the regular season promise high-stakes drama as playoff seeding, home ice advantage, and the final wildcard spots hang in the balance. Every point matters now, and the pressure has never been higher as the chase for the Stanley Cup begins in earnest. This changes everything. Philadelphia, Columbus, and Seattle all targeting new goalies as $17 million worth of netminders face buyouts, while trade market explodes with cup-winning options available. The NHL offseason is months away, but several teams are already planning dramatic changes to the most important position in hockey. As the regular season concludes this week, front offices around the league are preparing for what could be the most active goaltending carousel in recent memory. Three teams in particular, the Philadelphia Flyers, Columbus Blue Jackets, and Seattle Kraken, are facing critical decisions that could reshape their franchises for years to come. With playoff hopes dashed or fading fast, these organizations are looking toward next season with one question in mind: who will be their goaltender of the future? In Philadelphia, the numbers tell a devastating story. The Flyers currently own the NHL's worst save percentage at a dismal .879, placing them dead last among all 32 teams. Their goals against average of 3.44 ranks fifth worst league-wide. The departure of Carter Hart under troubling circumstances left a void that Alexei Kolosov, Ivan Fedotov, and Samuel Ersson have been unable to fill consistently. When you're giving up that many goals, it doesn't matter how good your offense is, said NHL analyst Mike Johnson. The Flyers simply can't win consistently with goaltending numbers like that. General manager Daniel Briere faces limited options in the free agent market this summer. The most attractive candidates might be Jake Allen of the New Jersey Devils and Frederik Andersen of the Carolina Hurricanes, both experienced veterans with their own question marks. The trade market, however, could offer more promising solutions. John Gibson of the Anaheim Ducks has been a fixture in trade rumors for years. The Pennsylvania native could welcome a move closer to home, though his $6.4 million cap hit through 2026-27 presents financial challenges. An even more intriguing option emerged in recent reports linking Vancouver's Thatcher Demko to the Flyers. Despite finishing second in Vezina Trophy voting last season as one of the NHL's elite goalies, Demko's future in Vancouver became uncertain after the Canucks signed Kevin Lankinen to a 5-year extension. Demko would be a franchise-altering acquisition for Philadelphia, said former NHL goaltender Kevin Weeks. When healthy, he's a top-5 goalie in this league who can steal games and playoff series. In Columbus, the situation is equally dire. The Blue Jackets appear ready to cut ties with Elvis Merzlikins, whose inconsistent play makes him almost impossible to trade, according to team sources. With 2 years remaining on his contract at $5.4 million annually, a buyout seems increasingly likely. The emergence of Jet Greaves, who earned NHL First Star of the Week honors with a perfect .300 record, 1.00 goals against average, and .968 save percentage, offers a glimmer of hope. But team officials remain cautious about elevating the 23-year-old to a starting role without experienced support. Columbus is another team that will be in the market for a proven NHL starter, said NHL insider Elliot Friedman. They've invested too much in rebuilding their defense and forward groups to let goaltending hold them back. Meanwhile, in Seattle, the Kraken appear ready to move on from Philip Grubauer after the 33-year-old lost his starting job to Joey Daccord. With 2 years remaining on his contract at an average annual value of $5.9 million, Grubauer is another buyout candidate. The financial implications are significant. A Grubauer buyout would cost the Kraken $1.983 million in 2025-26, $3.083 million in 2026-27, and $1.683 million annually for the final 2 years, but would free up valuable cap space for a team already committing to Daccord as their starter. This brewing storm in the goaltending market comes as several teams fight desperately for the final playoff spots this season. The Columbus Blue Jackets remain alive in the Eastern Conference race, needing a regulation win against Philadelphia tonight to keep their hopes alive after Montreal's shootout loss to Chicago. In the Western Conference, Minnesota, St. Louis, and Calgary are battling for 2 wild-card positions. The Wild hold a slight edge with a 1-point advantage over the Blues, while the Flames need both a win of their own and a Blues regulation loss to improve their standing. With just 2 days remaining in the regular season after tonight, every point is precious. Teams like Columbus are playing with heightened desperation, knowing their playoff hopes could evaporate with a single loss. The playoff races add another layer of intrigue to the goaltending situation, said NHL analyst Craig Button. Teams that miss the postseason often make significant changes, and goaltending is frequently the first position they address. For teams like Philadelphia, Columbus, and Seattle, the stakes couldn't be higher. Modern NHL success is built on goaltending stability, and all three organizations have suffered through seasons of inconsistency at the position. "Look at the teams that consistently make deep playoff runs," said Johnson. "They almost always have reliable goaltending. It's the foundation everything else is built upon." For NHL fans, this means the excitement won't end when the Stanley Cup is awarded in June. The goaltending carousel promises to make this offseason one of the most fascinating in recent memory, with franchise-altering moves potentially reshaping the league's competitive landscape. Teams that solve their goaltending issues this summer will have a massive advantage heading into next season, Weeks concluded. It's the most important position in hockey, and right now, there are multiple teams desperate for solutions. That makes for a very interesting market and potentially some surprising moves. As the regular season concludes and the playoff picture finalizes, general managers across the league are already looking ahead to the critical decisions that await them. For Philadelphia, Columbus, Seattle, and perhaps several other franchises, finding the right person to stand between the pipes could be the difference between future playoff success and continued frustration.